This is sort of awkward for me. I've been sitting here thinking about how I'm going to do this and how I'm going to talk about it. It's not even anything that serious. I just don't know how to go about it. It just makes me feel a little nervous, even though I spend a lot of time talking to people online for hours on end. But there has been some things I've been going through on a personal basis that have kind of like shifted my thinking and priorities as of late. Just in case you don't want to watch this entire video, I just want to tell you that no, I'm not going anywhere. I still plan to be on YouTube. I still plan to be doing anime reaction, but there might be a few things that might be changing going forward. So I've been having a lot of stressors recently in my life that have made me think that I'm not prioritizing the right things. And by this, I mean like my financial situation and where I'm kind of putting all my eggs in and how I'm spending my time. And I have very, very little of it. And I feel like I'm just not stable enough where I want to be. And I just came to realize that by like going through a lot of bureaucratic systems that were sort of shutting me down from doing a lot of things, like think about mortgages and getting loans and whatnot, all because they thought that like my income isn't that steady for me to be able to do anything with it in like a functional society where you're, you know, mostly not going to be self-employed like I am. You probably are getting your bills paid, you have nice income slips, and you can use them to do whatever you want. I don't have that power as someone as self-employed. Long story short, it's kind of hard in Sweden to just be a self-employed person and then get all these like lovely perks that everyone else gets. So it makes the fight a little harder for me than everyone else. And having things like that denied to me has been kind of an eye-opener. And by that I mean, for those that know me, and here's a little bit of lore, I have been streaming on Twitch for about 6 years. It's been something I've been doing full-time for about maybe 2 to 3 now. It's been a little while. And I started doing anime content on YouTube because one day on stream I thought, hey, wouldn't it be cool if I watched Dragon Ball content with everyone? I had never seen Dragon Ball before. And then I decided to make a YouTube video out of it, which someone edited for me, and people really loved it. And that literally was the start of my YouTube channel. It was like, I had used it for other things in the past, but it had never had the same passion for me up until that video. I realized how much people loved it, how wonderful the anime community was, and being an anime watcher for a while now, I thought, hey, you know, wouldn't it be cool if we did some reactions to stuff? And at that time, I didn't really know the realm of reactions. I wasn't really watching people on YouTube for it. Now I watch them all the time. And I think JoJo's Bizarre Adventure was coming out then, part 6. So I gave it a go. I had a lot of fun, and here we are many years later. I actually don't know how many. I want to say we're close to 2 years, maybe like a year something since I've been doing some full-time reactions here on YouTube. But just so anyone knows, when you ask me where is this video, YouTube is not where I, you know, do all of my work. Most of the time I'm streaming, and if I'm not streaming, I'm doing work outside that, and I have a lot to sort of take care of on like the business end of things so that I can make a living and keep doing what I do every day. So YouTube is just something I decided I wanted to try. I do like 95% of the editing myself. I, you know, come off stream, I record something, I edit it, and then I put it on YouTube. And like literally I've been doing this day in and day out for the last year. And so much of that has been sacrificing my personal time for me to relax so I can feel rejuvenated for the next day. Like I'll do like 6-hour stream day. I would have already like worked out in the morning, did some pre-work before stream, done my stream, came and recorded, then edited. Then by like the time it reaches 10 p.m. here, I'm calling it a night, like 10, 11 p.m. So I'm working around the clock. I'm an early riser. I'm always up like 6, 7 a.m. anyways. So I've had this like routine for the last few months to a year, and it's starting to wear me down. And I think it's really important to talk about this because I live in Sweden, and if anyone knows anything about Sweden, for about 8 months of the year, it's about super cold. Not only is it super cold, but we also have some of the shortest days of the year, meaning we only got about like 6 hours of daylight. A lot of people be like, oh, but you know, it's so great, we're night owls, we would love to have just darkness all the time. But the perpetual darkness actually affects your mental health quite a bit. For those that don't know, you wouldn't know what we're talking about, but people really suffer here in Sweden in particular due to darkness and the cold that, you know, seems to span forever. It feels like it's never going to end. So during those months of the year, it's like so nice to be able to fall back on YouTube, make content, and be able to react to stuff and then edit them, because it feels like, what else am I going to do out there? I'm just going to be outside in the cold while it's snowing? No, I might as well stay indoors and do some fun things. now that I've kind of transitioned towards summer, and I know this about me, when summertime comes around, I want to like take advantage of every single minute there is sunlight outside and I can enjoy it and it's warm and I'm not feeling absolutely miserable. So my ability to like do things like this suddenly becomes more strained, and right now I'm not having a good balance because I feel like I'm sitting indoors more than I should be, because this is going to go away in 2 months and I'm going to feel really sad I missed out on this chance to be able to enjoy it. So I feel like I kind of need to reprioritize how I'm spending my time, especially in some parts of the year like now. So if you see less videos of me, it's probably because I really want to enjoy the weather outside, and I really need it because when winter comes around, I'm going to feel miserable anyways. So that's one of the reasonings. The other one is, ever since YouTube kind of came into my life, I feel like I've been taking away a lot of attention and focus on my Twitch channel. And my Twitch channel is something that I've done for a really long time. I've built a really nice community on there and has been like a major source of my income over the last few years. And with me sort of like split focus between both these channels, I feel like I've been dropping the ball a little bit. And that's kind of bad for me, because if you kind of want me around here to be able to make anime content, I need to look out for myself. Otherwise, it's back to like a 9-to-5 job where will probably struggle even harder to make this content on a daily basis. So a lot of people are always asking me like, so when are you going to react to this and that? Well, just know I'm not a full-time YouTuber. There probably are a lot of you on here that are exactly that, and you watch them all the time and they have all this time to make all this content and watch all these animes and have a super structured schedule on Patreon. That's not me. I simply literally am using every waking hour to do some sort of work or another, be it here or there, and it's torn me apart. I feel like I'm not really living anymore. I'm just kind of waking up and doing the drill and then doing it over and over again, and it's been tiring. I won't lie, and I'm trying to change that a little bit for myself because it's wearing me out, and I'm not sure if it's bringing me the best benefit, like almost financially, if that makes sense. Like, sometimes what is most fun isn't going to be the most beneficial for your livelihood, and I feel like I've tried to focus so much on having fun that I need to sort of take care of the other parts of my life now. And that means I think for at least the next 2 to 3 months, I might be just uploading less anime reactions on here. We're definitely watching Jujutsu Kaisen. I know Hunter x Hunter has been kind of something that's been like a little back and forth the last few months. For those who have been wondering why they haven't been consistent, we used to do Thursday releases. It's just like a lot of time it takes from my week to just be able to edit those videos, to record them, to stay ahead of the schedule. Like, it's impossible for me to stay ahead. Like, I can't imagine now like recording like 30 episodes and then having them rolled out onto Patreon and then also like rolling them out onto YouTube. That's just a lot of content. It takes a lot of time to prepare. And I just never had that get-go. Like, I never started YouTube thinking like, I'm just gonna watch 10 anime episodes and then I'm gonna roll them out in the next 10 weeks and then watch 10 more while I'm rolling them out. So I have like this huge backlog of anime. That's just not me. I've enjoyed doing things in the moment, like My Dress Up Darling, things that I was just watching along with all of you during the anime season rather than backlogged. So it's been kind of like a mental block for me to feel like I have all these episodes to get through, and a lot of people are expecting me to do them weekly, and a lot of people just want updates, and I can't keep up. I need to be honest with all of you, like, I'm trying my hardest. One of the things that made me really realize like how much the editing process and how much work I have to do after my stream hours is taking away from me is when I did a like Patreon exclusive reaction. We did Skip and Loafer last season, and I realized, oh my god, this is so relaxing. I just get to watch anime and I get to share that with everyone else, and there's nothing that comes after it. I don't need to edit it. I don't need to work on it. Like, I don't need to prepare it for like a release or anything like that. It's raw content out in the world, and it's kind of like how I make my streams, right? Like, because I don't edit any of that. I'm just there live in person. People come and chat with me. We do things in the moment, in the spontaneous moment, and it feels so relaxing to know I have all this pressure taken off of me. So that's when it started to like shift things in my head, where it's like, I don't know if I can like keep up with this. There was like some weeks where I was doing like 4 to 5 anime reactions a week, and that's a lot of time in my week on top of all my other stuff that I'm doing. And sometimes some people are like, hey, why didn't you upload anything? And I probably had like a gig to go to, or I'm traveling, or like I'm not at a computer to work on it. And it's just been so chaotic to stay on top of it. And every time I come back from travel, there's like 50 million things for me to do. And it's like causing me a headache. And I feel bad every time I don't have a video released for all of you. So when you ask me like, why am I releasing like weekly reactions versus like something that is a long-term show like Hunter x Hunter, is because it's so much easier to be like, oh, there's a show coming out right now, I'll just sit down and work on it, than like thinking about all the content I need to like backlog for a while. And that's been mentally wearing me down. So I thought I would be honest with all of you and let you know that it's something that's been pretty stressful for me, and I kind of need to like sort of take a step back. I need to focus a little bit more on my Twitch channel right now and be able to pick up my income a little bit, because I don't want it to result in me having to walk away from all of this entirely, and find myself again a little bit in this time, and hopefully worrying less about some releases will help out a little bit, and maybe doing some like low effort stuff like Patreon exclusives. That could be nice because I'm still watching anime and I still get to share it with all of you, but then I won't have to stress about when I'm releasing it and when am I going to have time to edit. And I think that's going to be good for me this summer. And I really hope that you all understand as I kind of do this for myself, because I've been really nervous to share it with all of you. And I really enjoy the reactions I do on YouTube. I like the kind of conversation that we bring to it. I'm just someone, if you've noticed, that likes to sort of have commentary, like sort of analytical thinking over the anime, like another layer of how I feel about it, and not just like the raw like emotions involved with it. And I want to be able to keep bringing that. I can't say that I want to step away from this at all, because I've really been enjoying it. But I might be like introducing more content to my YouTube like gaming content. I might have someone who edits things for me and puts them on here, but it's always kind of been the spirit of what I do. Maybe it's just not what you know me for. Like I said, Twitch has been something that's been a part of me for the last few years, and I do a lot of gaming on there. So if you're kind of like missing maybe hanging out with me here when we're watching like anime, maybe it might be nice for you to drop to my Twitch channel and watch me when we're live and hang out with me there. Like, I'm more than down for conversations. My community is super nice, and we try and have a good day regardless, multiple times a week. So maybe that's more your thing, but until I kind of like figure out this whole rhythm and balance of life and work and money and everything, I might just need to like take more time to focus on the things that are bigger priorities. Like, I just to be honest with all of you, I'm not trying to think of this as like financial aspect to like make things like Hunter x Hunter videos, because first and foremost, it's like I want to be able to bring entertainment to everyone, and I want to share this experience with everyone. That's always been a source of joy for me for a really long time, and Hunter x Hunter is a fantastic show. But the minute it starts to feel like I have to work on this for like 4 or 5 hours a week and then push it, and then maybe for it to like not do so well, and know that like basically all my work amounts to like about $2, you know, that hurts. And it's not so much like I want to create it as a finance thing, but like I told you, this is my full-time thing. This is how I make money. And if I'm not putting, you know, food on the table, then heck, what am I doing in my life? You know, like that's just the reality of things. And for any of you that are gonna be like, well, you're so lucky you get to watch anime, and you're like, this is not even a real job, and blah blah blah, and all this kind of stuff. It's like anything you do in life is a real job. Anything you put time and effort into and you develop a skill for, that is a real job. And I need to be able to work harder at it rather than having someone hand me a certain amount of money every month just for showing up and doing my job. I have to make that money happen. And so it kind of really hurts for me to see like videos that just don't really perform very well. Not on the enjoyment scale of things, like I love making them, and people love watching them. But it's just sad. And it's like my 4 hours of work is just $3. Like, just equate that. Like, for any of you that get hourly wages, that's nothing. Like, I'm getting like subpar minimum wage in a lot of countries just to do that video. So I need to reprioritize a little bit. I know that I've ranted here for a really long time, but I hope you understand the reasonings of this video. And I'm really hoping I didn't pull a moment here where I am now recording my mic. I am. That's good. We're not failing there. But I'm a pretty honest person. You'll see this a lot about me. I talk about my mental health quite a bit. So if you can't catch me here and you're missing some of my content over the summer, I highly recommend following over on Instagram. I'm constantly posting stories there, things of my day, and I have little reels. It's more like lifestyle content. Twitch is for gaming and any sort of chats at all. Like, we're talking about food, we're talking about TV shows, we're talking about anime. Like, there's almost like no limit to those conversations, just as long as we're being respectful to each other. And then here I've been doing anime content. I've also done some gaming content. Hey, anyone who's like ever watched my Elden Ring videos, I'm also streaming that on Twitch. Yeah, I do that, so you might see a tiny bit more of that with the things that I've been enjoying lately. And I hope you'll be okay with just the balance I'm trying to find for myself. So here's a video that's gone on too long. Thanks to anyone that really stuck around all the way to the end and has been here since the beginning of my anime content career, I guess. It's been one hell of a ride. There have been some incredible moments with all of you, and I appreciate you being here for every single one of them. And every single time I cried in front of you watching an anime, like, those are such special memories to me, and I'm always going to remember that. Like, going into the comments after I've like published those videos and just seeing how many people resonate or like felt the same way I did, or just as we're excited about the episodes I am, that makes me so happy. Like, it just blows my mind, and I want to keep sharing that with all of you. So thank you so much for all your support. I'm a shill out here for a second, but if you ever got a Twitch Prime sub, if you use Prime, Amazon Prime, and you have a Twitch account, come drop me your Prime. It helps. There's also like the thank buttons on YouTube. Multiple ways to support me if you like this content. Patreon is also another option. But I need to take care of me, so hence me saying all these things. Hope you don't feel too discouraged by it. And thanks for staying towards the end. I appreciate all of you, and have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next one.